This evening, Independence Ceremony transforms into a night of remembrance and prayer for Mahdia fire victims. President Ali urges Guyanese to avoid speculation on social media regarding Mahdia dormitory fire. Investigation launched into fatal accident on access road in Buxton, East Coast, Demerara. In the region, half of Haiti suffers from acute hunger, and internationally, authorities widen investigation over Kenya cult death. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for May 24th, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. In the wake of the tragic Mahdia female dormitory fire that claimed the lives of 19 young individuals, President Dr. Mahdia Ali has announced a significant change to the upcoming annual Independence flag raising ceremony. President Ali has declared that the ceremony, originally planned to be held in Letem, Region 9, will now be transformed into a night of remembrance and prayer dedicated to the memory of the young lives lost. The first funeral service honoring Sabrina John, one of the victims tragically lost in the fire, is scheduled for today in Paru. This is the first funeral to begin the solemn farewells to the young souls departed. In addition to the funeral service, President Ali shared that a flower-laying ceremony will also be held at Mahdia Hostel. This is to commemorate and pay respects to the young lives lost. The event will be attended by ambassadors, honorary consuls, and members of the diplomatic corps in Guyana, further symbolizing the solidarity and collective mourning of the international community. The President expresses gratitude on behalf of the government and people of Guyana to the heads of state, regional leaders, and international partners for their unwavering support and heartfelt messages of condolences during this difficult time. Government ministers has been assigned to each family to ensure direct support for the affected families, providing them with the necessary assistance and guidance they require during this mourning period. President Dr. Mahdia Ali has called on the people of Guyana to refrain from spreading harmful theories and speculations on social media regarding the recent Mahdia secondary dormitory fire, which tragically claimed the lives of 19 children. In a live statement this morning, President Ali emphasized the need to focus social media usage on positive and uplifting content such as motivational quotes, prayers, and inspirational songs.
This is a time for national responsibility, collective responsibility. I'm seeking your help and your assistance in ensuring that we use social media in a responsible way at this time, having respect and regards for the families, the children, the teachers, and the community.
President Ali acknowledged the power of social media as a tool, but emphasized the importance of using it responsibly and within guidelines.
Social media is a powerful tool, and it's a tool in situations like these that must be utilized within some guidelines and some rules. I'm urging all Guyanese to desist from self-analysis, from reviewing timeline stories of all these girls, and from analyzing the life story of all of these girls at this time.
The President also urged the nation to prioritize the needs and desires of the families and children affected by the tragedy over personal opinions and desires. He emphasized that the process of healing and support will extend over months and even years. DNA collection is currently underway for the unidentified victims of the tragic fire at the Mahdia Secondary School female dormitory. This is according to an update provided by the President. A specialized team has begun collecting DNA samples from the victims and their grieving parents, and the samples set to be analyzed at the Mount Sinai Laboratory in New York. The matching results are expected to be available by May 26th. President Ali emphasized the need for the Mount Sinai lab due to its quick turnaround time for results. The severity of the fire resulted in several bodies being burnt beyond recognition, necessitating the expertise of the specialized team, including Barbadian forensic pathologist Dr. Shahab Karapal. President Ali also provided updates on the health status of the surviving victims, with 3 girls in critical condition in the intensive care unit and 2 girls in stable condition in the high dependency unit. The remaining students will be brought to Georgetown for a second review. A comprehensive team of professionals, including psychiatrists, counselors, and social workers, is offering counseling services to students, their families, teachers, and the community. Multiple teams will continue to provide support in Mahdia for the next 3 months. Stick around when we return. Investigation launched into fatal accident on Access Road in Buxton, and couple cleared of marijuana trafficking charge as Haranam Court concludes trial.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. Here's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she wrote in even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Make Georgetown beautiful once more with the council that you choose. Keep the city bright for sure, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose. Vote the Independent Citizens for Progress for a better and beautiful Georgetown at local government elections in June.
Problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Why was just a man, Lillian?
But you man did offense me.
Leave my woman alone, Chop! Leave my woman alone!
I want you to have this. It's just some money.
Although I'm happy I find this gold, I still worried about it. What do you think, man? This is Jumbie gold? Gold is gold, boy.
Tally, a Guyana prize-winning play powered by the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. Showtime 6 p.m. Dress elegantly casual.
Hi, Mr. Smart. Please stop a minute and just clarify this thing for me.
Oh, Sonel, don't tell me it's local government questions again.
Yeah, boss. How come the local government elections different from the general elections?
Okay, the local government election systems allow for half of the members of the council to be elected through the proportional representation system, just like general elections. And the other half will be elected through the first past the post system. This system allows for one candidate to be elected to represent the constituency where he or she lives. For example, if a council got 30 seats, like the Georgetown municipality, 15 will be elected through the proportional representation system, and the other 15 will be elected through the first past the post system, giving a total of 30 councillors.
So that means that every constituency will have one of its citizens who live there having a seat and representing it at council.
Yes, Sonel, that's correct. And if you need to know anything else about the electoral system for local government elections, just call GCOM. Take care, Sunil.
All right.
Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. A tragic accident on the Access Road Sideline Dam in Buxton on the east coast of Demerara has claimed the life of an 84-year-old pedestrian, Elaine Williams. The incident involves a motor lorry owned by Seavon's Waste Management Incorporated, driven by 32-year-old Timothy Franklin Baines of Haslington, East Coast, Demerara. According to initial inquiries, the driver was reversing the lorry from south to north on Buxton Sideline Dam around noon when he felt a sensation of running over something. To his dismay, he discovered the motionless body of the woman behind his vehicle. The police were immediately called to the scene and the injured pedestrian was transported to the Buxton Health Center, where she was examined by a doctor and pronounced dead. The body has been transferred to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Following the accident, angry individuals in the vicinity assaulted the lorry driver. He is receiving medical treatment at the Georgetown Public Hospital under police guard. The police investigated the incident to determine the circumstances and factors contributing to the tragic accident. Updates on the investigation will be provided as they become available. In a recent development, 34-year-old Shelroy Clark and 29-year-old Patricia Grant of Goodfowacton, East Coast, Demerara, were acquitted of marijuana trafficking charge when they appeared at the Sparendam Magistrates Court. The couple was charged on May 2, 2021, after police allegedly discovered over 800 grams of marijuana at their residence. Represented by attorney Bernard De Silva, Clark and Grant underwent a 2-year trial. After hearing their defense case, the court ruled in favor of the couple, stating that they were not guilty. Grant was freed on April 25th following a no-case submission made by the prosecution and upheld by Magistrate Alicia George. Almost a month later, on May 23rd, Clark was also acquitted. The magistrate agreed with De Silva's argument that the prosecution had failed to provide beyond a reasonable doubt that the drugs found in Shelroy's possession belonged to him and were intended for trafficking. During the trial, a prosecution witness claimed that Shelroy had made an oral statement to the police suggesting ownership of the drugs. However, De Silva challenged this claim, arguing that no evidence supported the alleged statement. With the court finding the evidence insufficient to prove their guilt, Shelroy Clark and Patricia Grant have been acquitted of the marijuana trafficking charges. Don't go away after the break. Authorities widen investigation over Kenya cult deaths, and workouts work out for teenage baseball sensation from Uganda.
Boy, he was just a man, Lillian. But you man enough offense me.
Leave my woman alone, Chap! Leave my woman alone!
I want you to have this. It's just some money.
Although I'm happy I find this goal, I still worried about it.
What do you think, man? This is Jumbie gold? Gold is gold, boy.
Tally, a Guyana prize-winning play powered by the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. Showtime 6 p.m. Dress elegantly casual.
Good girl, forget things.
Who's the
problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit. And today, all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you want to know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radica went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Make Georgetown beautiful once more with the council that you choose. Keep the city bright for sure, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose, and the heritage we don't lose.
Vote the Independent Citizens for Progress for a better and beautiful Georgetown at local government elections in June.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Miss Anne! Miss Anne!
Oh, hi, darling.
Help me out with this thing, man. You just know everything. What's all this talk about local government election?
Local government refers to the mayor and councillors who manage the affairs of our towns, like Georgetown, and the chairman and councillors of the Neighborhood Democratic Council.
Oh, but why is that important to me?
Dolly, it is very important. Every day, local government officials make decisions that affects you, your family, and the community. They serve the people within the community in which they were elected.
Oh, Miss Anne, me not understand all them big words you use there. Tell me what local government does do.
All right, darling. Local government is responsible for maintaining and protecting public property, like our community centers and the playgrounds, for collecting the garbage, maintenance of the streets, cleaning of the drains and the carpets, and so much more.
Oh, I now understand. Thanks, Miss Anne.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna show off for me friends them why I will vote at the local government elections.
That's a good thing. Let's go.
Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Nearly half of Haiti's population is suffering from acute hunger, but humanitarian agencies are struggling to reach vulnerable communities that live in areas controlled by gangs. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bow reports.
Water, mud, fat and salt. This is what Shirley Nonsent and her family are going to be eating for the next few days. It is not just her. She lives on 4D Manche in Cité Soleil, one of the poorest areas in Port-au-Prince. Called mud cookies, they are a food of last resort in Haiti, and a symbol of the country's deepening humanitarian crisis.
We eat mud cookies because we are hungry. We don't have food. It's salty and we eat it. We can drink water and we feel full.
Haiti's capital and its slum areas like Cité Soleil are now controlled by violent gangs. As a result, access to food is often impossible. The World Food Programme says half of Haiti's population is going hungry. Humanitarian agencies working in Haiti have had to adapt to the ongoing violence.
We have to prepare the meals outside Cité Soleil. So here we're in Delma, a commune at Port-au-Prince. It's not too far from Cité Soleil. We cook the food here. The volunteer cooks are here. They prepare big pots of rice and beans. We put that onto the truck. The hot food is driven down to Cité Soleil and distributed immediately because we cannot leave food stocks. No food, no peace. Haiti will never be at peace as long as half of its population requires humanitarian assistance.
The organization is also giving away snack bars with protein for children. But aid is not reaching everyone.
All of these people have been displaced by gang-related violence. There's dozens of children living in this place. Shiloh here is just over a year old. He's clearly undernourished with skin problems. There's thousands of people who are living like this in Haiti right now.
Michaela Exum is living in an improvised shelter in the neighborhood of Solino. She delivered her baby here 2 months ago and says finding food has become a daily challenge.
They were shooting all over the neighborhood. Everyone ran to save their lives. A priest gave us this place for shelter. Most children here are not eating every day.
Violence and hunger continue to spread throughout Haiti. And while the international community discusses possible solutions, those who live here are clearly desperate for any help they can get. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.
Internationally, Kenyan police say they have now recovered the bodies of 240 people who were members of a cult in a remote forest. Survivor says Pastor Paul Mackenzie Ntenge ordered his followers to starve themselves to death. Al Jazeera's Malcolm Webb reports.
Survivors say children were starved first and some were suffocated or buried alive if they didn't die. Women and men were to follow to try to reach heaven before the end of the world. Evangelical pastor Paul Mackenzie Ntenge and his followers moved here to the Shakahola forest 4 years ago. We spoke to somebody who's worked at the exhumation site but is not authorised to talk. He told us about 70 or 80 bodies appeared to not be part of the cult.
There's a place where we found many graves together, concealed under recently planted vegetables. Those many bodies were wrapped in a different way. The bodies of people from there were normally wrapped in just a bed sheet. These ones were wrapped tightly and some with straps around the necks, as if for carrying them.
Mackenzie used to preach at his church in the town of Malindi. He also had a TV station and a YouTube channel. He's now in custody awaiting charges. He's been arrested and released several times before, even after his followers started dying. Many people here say he was paying off the police in Malindi. The officers in charge have been transferred.
Come, receive your healing.
Investigators say he had business dealings with this man, another preacher called Ezekiel Adero. Thousands of people come to his nearby church every week.
Right, left ovary.
In this video, a woman says her ovaries were removed for cancer treatment and then reappeared after she drank blessed water, which Ezekiel sells. His rapidly growing church appears to have made a large amount of money in a short time. Police records show that not everyone who comes here leaves alive. The church premises are vast. They include 2 banks. Here there's a shopping mall and a fuel station under construction. There's also a hotel that houses the sick. Police say they're investigating cases of people who've died in here, whose bodies they say may be among those buried in Shakahola forest. Ezekiel was arrested last month but has since been released on bail. His bank accounts were briefly frozen. His lawyers deny all allegations and say he was not involved in the cult. Some people are calling for the growing number of churches in Kenya to be regulated. A committee of senators is gathering views on how that could be done.
How do we protect our country from unnecessary suffering, which is brought by people who are misusing the freedom of worship that is guaranteed in the Constitution?
Constitutional rights present one challenge, political power presents another. Some of the preachers have popularity that politicians long for, and they work together. Families of the hundreds of people still missing are waiting to see if all the questions about the bodies in Shakahola will be answered. It's not clear if the extent of Mackenzie's networks will ever be revealed, or if the most powerful people involved will ever be held to account. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Kilifi County, Kenya.
And finally, a teenage baseball player from Uganda has become a social media sensation thanks to his unique training regimen. With no access to funds or facilities, 18-year-old Dennis Kasumba was forced to improvise ways to develop his skills. His workouts paid off and he was invited to play in the United States. Al Jazeera's Raul Patak reports.
It's an unusual training regimen. But then nothing about Dennis Kasumba's journey has been straightforward. The 18-year-old has gone from working in a Uganda slaughterhouse to being chosen to play baseball in the MLB's draft league. The journey began 4 years ago when the then 14-year-old Dennis was forced to drop out of school and take a factory job slaughtering animals just to provide for his family. But then the teenager, who grew up as an orphan, was spotted playing in the street.
When I was young, I did not know baseball. I didn't know I liked baseball. At that time, I collected many rocks, threw them in the air and used a stick to strike them. Whenever I missed, I'd try again. One day I met Coach Semper. He then invited me to the field to show me how to play.
A brick tied to his glove.
After seeing Dennis play, local coaches said if he continued with his baseball, then they would pay for him to return to school and give him a place to live. However, Dennis, now firmly bitten by the baseball bug, was already aiming higher. Wanting to train as a specialist catcher, the teenager felt he needed to take his fitness to the next level.
When going to the gym wasn't possible yet, I needed to build these muscles. So I decided to use car tires, small and big sizes.
As time went on, his methods became even more ingenious. Dennis even stitched together his very own catcher's mitt. His workouts eventually went viral on social media, which then got him noticed by a major TV network in the States.
I saw an incredibly inspiring story.
I love this guy.
From the videos that I uploaded is where many MLB players saw me. They then shared my clips on their social media pages. Teams like the LA Dodgers, the Red Sox, the New York Yankees, and many others, they shared my posts asking for me to be helped.
That help came eventually in the form of an offer from the MLB to play in their draft league, an amateur competition played over the summer, which is used as a showcase for young talent. After several refusals, Dennis was eventually granted a US travel visa, allowing him to take up his spot with the Frederick Keys team. The season gets underway next month, and Dennis is already targeting a professional career in the major leagues as his ultimate goal. Rahul Pathak, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Save TV2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and in the evening at 7 for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.